Oh, Breaker19, this here's the Gear Jamming Deer. Whitetail has got your front door, come on. So, I did go back and review the footage from the last video, and gave myself the money back from that collision, which I determined to be 100% the other vehicle's fault. It was the vehicle across from me, which had been turning left, and appeared to be turning left into the right-hand lane, I'd like to mention, because if they had turned left into the left lane, I don't think they would have hit me. They still probably would have, but based on the position of the other vehicle, when I went to third person, it looked like they'd been turning left into the right lane, across oncoming traffic. So, that's 2 violations. Anyway, the game took $620, which, you guys would have had the benefit of being able to rewind and see for me. I couldn't do that at the time, obviously. So I added that back, and then I took away $20 to cover the cab fare to go from Montrose to wherever I took that load from last video. Where was it? To Grand Junction. And honestly, the taxi fare probably would have been a little bit more expensive than that, but $20 was an easy number to take away, so I just took away the $20. I'm not going to do that every time that I have to go to a nearby city like that, but just since I was already modifying my money, I figured I might as well. Anyway, so now that you're all caught back up, we are in Holbrook, and yeah, I should have seen that coming. Well, let me see. Let's get an early start, since we're going to bed early. Let's see if that changes anything. I really need to get my own trunk. Hey, that actually worked for once. They both suck, though. I need to get into a place where they have gas loads. Gas pays good. Or, petroleum. That sort of stuff. So here's my dilemma here. This one obviously both pays more total and pays more per mile. But this one's a good bit shorter, so if I can potentially get a good load out of Socorro, with this one I'm spending less time at a lower pay rate. And both the trucks are pretty much... It's interesting, this one doesn't tell what engine and transmission it has. Huh. Well, they should be comparable, anyway. This is a much lighter load, though, I think, with taking this one. Of course, watch, I'm going to get to Socorro and there'll be nothing. And it's raining, lovely. And I did also go and change the couple of keybinds that I was talking about being wrong in the last video. I might discover that there are more keybinds that were wrong that I still need to fix, but I went and fixed the 2 that I was talking about in the last video. So now, yes, jake brake is a toggle. And I can't test the cruise resume because I haven't set a cruise to resume yet, but I assume that works too. Good sunrise. And I did actually set my timer this time. Was this road always here? Of course, keeping in mind that Arizona's been in the game, Arizona was the first DLC state, and it was a free one. Well, technically, if we're going to get into semantics, Nevada was the first DLC state, but it was included with the base game. Arizona was then the first external download, but it was also free, so it's technically also included with the base game now. But the point being, Arizona's been in the game a lot longer than, like, New Mexico that neighbors it, for example. Then I don't remember if this road was always here. Because I remember coming down to Holbrook a lot, but I feel like I remember it being a dead end. Like, you came to the rail export and the mine, and that was all that was down here. You had to go north or west. from there. You could jump over to Holbrook proper and then go down to Sholo. I actually have a video somewhere on my channel from where I ran that route in real life. It was pretty fun. I wish it was this easy to get loads that run back roads in real life. And I mean, I guess if you have full control over what loads you take, it might be this easy. How light I am, I shouldn't have much trouble getting past this dump truck. It's just, you know, finding an actual passing zone. I stand corrected. Make sure I get my third-person shot for the thumbnail. So I noticed an odd detail on the T680 in this game that I'm fairly certain is an inaccuracy, but I keep forgetting to look at a real T680 to see. But notice, draw an imaginary line from the bottom of the bumper to the bottom of the side skirt. And notice that they don't line up. The bottom of the bumper actually lines up with the ground effects package under the side skirt, which I believe is not correct. Pretty sure that on a real T680, the bottom of the bumper lines up with the bottom of the side skirt, and then the ground effects package, which you can't really see because it's black, you know, actually rubs the ground like on other trucks. I don't remember what I was doing with the first gen T680 that I noticed that dirt. But, like, you'll notice, since you can't really see the ground effects package, it looks really odd that the bumper and the side skirt don't line up. I'm aware I'm speeding. I'm counting on the speed limit going up. And it's going down. Yep, should have seen that coming. What is with these speed limits? Where are we, Pennsylvania? That's a cop car. Nailed it. Finally. Expertly dodged that tumbleweed. Yeah, I was right. I just looked up a picture of a T680. And I guess the bumper and the side skirt don't line up exactly perfectly. The skirt's like 1 or 2 inches higher off the ground than the bumper. But it's much less obvious than what it is in the game. So yeah, I don't know. I noticed that recently and I thought it was interesting. Excuse me. Oh, for crying out loud! When I thought the speed limit was 35. I think I might need to find a mod that affects police spawn rates. a pain is parking this little thing gonna be. Oh, let's go there. You know, it occurs to me what an impractical truck this is for this job. Like, I just hauled a load of tires on a small flatbed from one quarry to another, and I'm driving a full-size road truck. That is presumably either owned by one quarry or the other. You'd expect it to be, well, if I'm being honest, you expect it to be an old Mac, but, you know, there aren't any of those games, so... Yay. New special transports. Not interested. Shoot, where are we? Socorro. Right. Well, there's some stuff in Albuquerque. And I don't think I'd be there. I'm not going to look up a taxi rate this time. I'm just going to guess $50. But Socorro, New Mexico to Albuquerque. Hope if I spelled it right. Oh, it's only an hour. Okay. So I could make 3 of these. Well, 96 cents a mile. That's yes. That was actually a shorter trip than I realized. I'm not going to bother modifying my money for that. I feel like $58 is probably a pretty accurate guess, and I don't feel like $50 really makes a big difference in the grand scheme of things. So it doesn't really feel worth taking the time to modify the money. And if any of you have a problem with that, then you can just bite me, because it's my series. I should probably be having some consideration for you know, where I'm taking loads to. I'll probably be planning that a little bit more carefully once I have my own truck. Turning left here, I'm turning left at the next intersection. And I know that, so why did I turn the turn signal on? on, light! Oh, it's still green. Why is that light still green? There's nobody over there. One of the things I'd really like in this game that I don't see people mention much is a much more sophisticated system for the traffic lights. I mean, surely they could put in the technology for sensing when a vehicle's at the light, and, you know, have it adjust timings on the fly based on that and everything like that. Surely that doesn't take that much processing power. Though considering the AI is already starting to struggle with having just slightly more complex light systems, maybe it's not a good idea to add more. Add more complexity, I mean. Already about time for me to stop. I should have just not taken this load yet. It took me too long to decide whether I wanted to take it or not. What I might start doing, it seems like the shorter episodes do a little bit better anyway. I might just start doing one load per episode. You know, however long, unless I get an especially short load, however long that load ends up taking, that's how long the episode will be. Oh, and to be clear, when I said earlier that I don't really agree with the level system in this game, I like the levels for, you know, being more fuel efficient and getting better loads and everything like that. It makes sense that that would be tied to experience level, which is what the game is simulating with the, you know, experience level. But experience level does not dictate what sort of truck you can buy. I feel like a lot of the owner-operators with some of the nicer, you know, as far as amenities go, some of the nicer trucks on the road are probably the ones that have very little to no experience and just took a huge loan that they can't really afford and went and bought a fancy truck. stop along here, is there? Yeah, I really should have just not taken this load. Because now I'm going to have 2 long videos in a row. Which I try to not do. And just like in real life, when I'm in a hurry, I get stuck behind something. Seriously? Game's getting too real, I tell you guys. Not even gonna bother passing at this point, just want to direct the park. That'll be good enough for a short break. So I'm going to leave this here, obviously. I'm going to do a setup very quickly because this video is long. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep the hammer down, drivers.